Hi there, Phil Simborg from the Backgammon Learning Center. I always tell my students that when you roll a double, look for a really, really great play and then find a better one. And doubles is harder because you have more options, and often there are big things you can do. And quite often you see a great play right away and you make it and pick up the dice and think, oh my God, I could have done something else. So you really need to take more time when you roll doubles. I put together a cute quiz on doubles, on rolling double one, double two, and so on. And why don't you see how you do? You can pause the video if you need more time to see the answers. So let's get right started. Here's a double one to play. And red is on roll double one. And this is a match. It's three away, three away. I don't think it would be much different for money. And how would you play double one if you were red? Okay, again, pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to go right to the next one for those who got their answer. A lot of people would have switched here. A lot of people do different things here. And hitting loose is right. If you get hit back with a two, it might even time you a little bit. But it's not close. And again, the switching play is tempting and wrong. How do you play double twos? A lot of plays here. Red to play. Remember, white has a checker on the bar. This is a match, happens to be 4 away, 7 away. Red is leading, but I don't, again, think the score is going to matter that much in these situations. I think you're getting my point here. There's lots of possible plays here. Okay, here you make a complete switch play and go for a big blitz. And I think part of the attractiveness of this play, as ugly as it is to make your ace point, is the fact that there's another checker to pick up that you're almost sure to pick up. And again, no play is good or bad. Plays are only better or worse than the alternatives. So even if you don't like this play, you look at what the alternatives are and see what's likely to happen with the alternatives. This is the best alternative, makes it the best play. Double threes. Red to play double three. This is is a little bit more interesting. Score might matter. It's red is 2 away and holding a 2 cube. So gammons do not matter if red wins a gammon. All he wants to do is win the game. All right. In spite of the fact that you don't want gammons and you just want to win the game, a lot of people would cover the 2 point here, and that's a big error. It just leaves you with an ugly position. This is a very, very strong position, and it wins the most by far. You can see, if you're not familiar with XG, that the right play wins 51.5% as opposed to 48%, 45%, and so on. Now, if gammons mattered, it still happens to be the best play. You win more gammons and more wins with this play rather than covering the 2 point. Slightly better. Double fours. Does the score matter? No, not really. 7 away, 7 away. The cube turned. Obviously, two major options to think about: making a full prime by making your 5 point, or hitting and picking up another checker and coming out. The right play, make the full prime. But it's not right by a lot. It's fairly close, actually. 0.025, and this has been rolled out. But I think it's really interesting. And I must tell you that I got it wrong over the board. I remember hitting, and I thought that hitting won a lot more gammons, and it turns out the gammons are almost the same, and the wins are slightly better. So it's fairly close, but it's very interesting. Making the 6 prime, you're not likely to crack, and even if you crack, you can probably still hold white. Double fives. Let's see, 3 away, cube in the center. Okay, hope you have your play. You have to come out here. There's way too many ways to crack if you don't come out. It's automatic. Now, if he was at the edge of the prime here, this would be a lot more interesting. Then you would be afraid of him escaping, and maybe you come out with 2 and hit with 2. I actually tested it both ways. By the way, I produced this quiz quite a long time ago, so I'm not sure I remember exactly all the right plays. What would you do if he's at the edge of the prime? Let's put him at the edge of the prime and double 5. I think you make the 3-point and come out with 2. Pretty sure that's right if he's here. You just can't afford to let him roll a 6 and win. So I think it's 2 and 2. In fact, as I recall, anyway, that's my play. I'll have to test it later. Why don't you test it yourself? That's the best way to learn. But with him back here and you're not worried about him escaping except with a 1-6, you bring them all out. I hated this last one to here, but you don't want to give him a 1 to hit you and dance for a while he comes up and runs out. So also the cube's in the center. After you do this, you can think about doubling. It might be too good, but you can decide after his next roll. Last one, double 6s for red. These are always interesting. How do you play against a crashed back game? Well, because of the quiz factor, I'm sure many of you are thinking about trap plays. Most of the time, people would just automatically move the back checkers around and eventually leave a double shot that white would hit and probably get off the gammon, probably not win. So when your opponent's board is crashed, it's time to think about trap plays. And that's the answer. You let him out, stay back completely. How many people would do this over the board? Again, the quiz factor might have helped you get this. But over the board, if you were just playing, you'd probably play on automatic and move the back checkers, unless you really studied this kind of defense after your opponent's crashed. You want him to come out. This is a great play. Now you might force him out right away and start blitzing him, and you've made 2 more interboard points. And you win a lot more games and gammons this way. By the way, I failed to mention 4-away gammons are very, very valuable. Hope this was fun for you. I have other quizzes. In fact, I've written articles on just how to play double 2s in the early game. Double 2s and double 3s in the early game can get quite complicated. Much harder than double 1s because you have more options. And it's worth studying because when they happen, you don't want to blow it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in seeing more of my quizzes and more things like this, go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel and go through it. I've got quite a few, and if you really want to learn the game, join the USBGF, and you'll see that I've got about 250 videos. Everyone gives some kind of a lesson, and they're free to members of the USBGF. So whether you live in the United States or not, the U.S. Backgammon Federation offers a lot of benefits and discounts, a great magazine, and again, all of my videos and many other benefits regardless of where you live. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.